What it do? What it do? We back with another one. And this one we gonna do more like financial talk, cause we've been killing it lately with like, literally killing it with like the death stories on the news. But we gonna get back to those, cause we always gotta tap in with the news, see what's going on with the community. But today we gonna drop some gems on y'all, some financial game. You feel me? Cause we always about getting that bag right. So I'm gonna talk to y'all about Naca, N-A-C-A. So Naca is a non-profit, and it's actually founded by this gentleman named Bruce. Bruce is a nice guy. I actually met Bruce at the Miami Convention Center, and they had an event out here. It's a huge event. But he actually came out to talk to some people that came, and I got to shake his hand and do all that stuff. But this guy Bruce, he essentially is the gentleman that started the company, and he actually coined the term predatory loans. He actually coined that term. So this is a big organization. They have a lot of good to offer us, me and you. So I'm probably gonna have to do another video, because I like to keep my stuff short and sweet, because I know the attention span, my attention span ain't even there too. So we're gonna keep this one short and sweet. But Naca. So what is Naca? Naca is N-A-C-A. It is the acronym, the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. Essentially what Naca does as a nonprofit is they try to get homeowners into houses with the best mortgage possible. They have what's called the best mortgage in America. You can qualify for their mortgage anywhere in the 48 United States, possibly 50. Don't quote me on that. Hawaii and Puerto Rico and all that, but I know the 48 contiguous. Yeah. You in there like swimwear. So what Naca is gonna do for you, one, they say no down payment, no closing costs. There's still fees associated with it, because that's just the cost of doing business. They are a nonprofit, but they are helping you facilitate a business transaction and getting closed on a property. So there's of course some fees that you're gonna have to pay, but it's nothing compared to a traditional loan, or even a loan where they pay a portion of your down payment or closing costs. They're actually giving you, the best mortgage in America, as far as I'm concerned. Just even beats like those USDA loans, you get me? So how do they do it? Essentially, since they're a non-profit, what this guy Bruce was able to do over the course of their existence, they've got funding from a lot of large financial institutions who are doing bad business practices. He essentially strong-armed them into lending Naca his nonprofit money to give to us so that we could close on these properties. So there is requirements and there actually is no income restriction, but there is actually a cap on I don't want to say the loan, but there's a cap on the value of the property that you're going to close on. And it ranges from about, I think, 460 right now, so 450. You could get up to a 450. You could qualify for up to a 450K property with these people if you're a single family, and you could bump it up if you're getting a multi-family. So let me get to y'all the nitty gritty. What are their rates? Because I know that's what you want to know about. What's their interest rate? So their interest rate, it gets locked in. So their interest rate is kind of going with what the Fed's interest rate is. Fed's interest rate. So right now for a 30-year fixed rate, it's 5.1 right now. And that's gonna lock you in a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with them. The cool thing about them is, like I said, just because I did an example with one of their advisors, where you sit down with one of their advisors and they actually, work with you to get you qualified. Let's say if you closed on a 200K property, the fees associated with that property is going to be about 7K more or less. Versus if you were to get qualified conventionally for a 200K property, that's a very cheap property in the grand scheme of things. If you would have had to put, let's say, 3% down for first-time homeowners, you'd still have to come out of pocket like, 17,000. Versus with Naca, you're only gonna have to pay 7,000. So you still gotta, have some money, because that's part of the thing too. What Naca does is you don't get qualified for a mortgage. You get
what they do is they look at your income. So let's say I work a salary job and every month I bring home $6,000. They take that $6,000 after taxes. They take that $6,000 and they multiply it by 12. And you know, we might as well just do the math since I'm out here talking numbers and y'all looking at me like, damn nigga, do some math. So 6,000 times 12, that's 72 racks. So you're making 72,000 for the year. And what Naca's gonna say is, all right, you making 72,000 for the year after taxes. So you probably bring it in closer to like maybe, you know, 6 figures, you know, or maybe 90K, something like that before taxes. So after taxes, you bring in 6,000, right? They're gonna take that 6,000 and they're gonna say, all right, you're qualified for a house. And this is just perfect scenario. Let's say you, for whatever reason, you have no mortgage, well, let's just say you rent right now, and out that 6,000, 2,000 go to your rent. So 2,000 goes to your rent, blah, blah, blah. That 4,000, NACA's gonna say, hey, you have $4,000 green every month. That's what you're qualified for. So they're gonna get you qualified for a house that the mortgage payment is $4,000. Does that make sense? So you don't get qualified for a house, you get qualified for a mortgage payment. So if you get qualified for $4,000, you could get a house that has a mortgage of $4,000. So it essentially gives you a little bit more buying power out the gate. On top of that, traditionally, when you buy a property with less than 20% equity into the property, you're gonna have to pay something called PMI. That's property mortgage insurance. The financial institution that's loaning you money on the property, they want to make sure that their money's good, because you don't got a lot of money into the property. You could, you know, be asked out the next day. So you got to pay an insurance which protects them in the case you default on the loan. NACA covers that for you. And that's another big saving. So why am I bringing up NACA to y'all, by the way? I'm bringing up NACA to y'all because, you know, we out here in the Sunshine State, as you can see, and there's a lot of talks about rising interest rates, increased property values. You know, I know a lot of other states are going to experience market crashes, but over here in South Florida, we might not experience such a harsh market crash. You know, that's the reality. You know, we might experience a little dip, a little cool down, but everybody's coming to live here because of our tax incentives. You know, we don't have no state income tax. We have, you know, homestead tax out here for your first home. You know, we got no snow. It's a very nice place to live, you get me? Outside of the fact that our real estate is extremely expensive to get into now. So for the average Joe Schmo who makes a lot of their money under the table out here, it's getting increasingly hard for us to get properties. That's where NACA comes into play, because NACA is gonna help you get an interest rate without all the BS that all these, you know, traditional lenders are gonna hit you with. Now, yes, you're gonna have to do a little bit more legwork with NACA. You're gonna have to get, you know, with them, you gotta go do like a first-time home buyers course with them. You gotta volunteer a little, just one day. If you go to, they have like events at various different conventions. I went to the one in Miami because they happened to be here, so I just pulled up on them. You could buy a ticket to them. There's some to wherever convention they're at. I think right now they're actually in Maryland at one of their current events is right now going on in Baltimore, Maryland, September 8th through the 12th. So you could go over there, get qualified, get approved, speak to a counselor. You could get all their documents together with them and they'll get you approved, you know, and their approval is good for 6 months. Now, like I said, this is gonna have to be a 2-part video. This is just kind of like a synopsis on, you know, what they could offer you and why you should look into them if you're trying to be prepared to get a home moving forward in Florida. If you never got a home before, why wouldn't you want to get one of the best mortgages, you know? So go to the website. It's Naca. What is it? It's NACALYNX.com. So I'm gonna have all that in the link below. Like I said, we're gonna keep this one short, and I'm probably gonna do another video to this to give y'all more ideas on that. So let me know what y'all think in the comments if y'all got any questions about this. But yeah, let's get this money, man. Y'all gotta get into real estate, get them assets up. Tune in next time for the next video. Keep on getting that paper. We out.